Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rekakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great men, so not do it well. Salutation to the brothers around the world, preaching His word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And it's like having to deal with these two-thirds on a daily basis, and especially these God-forsaken heathens. It is be kind of tiresome. I ain't gonna lie, but not complaining. It's just like sometimes it's just fit to hit them some. Do like Nehemiah, hit them some hard dollars to the nonsense be talking sometimes, because they talking so much shit that they even believe in it, but they're just talking it for talking sake, and that is just like the so stupid is like the scripture already say some of them will be blinded. These two-thirds are gonna be blinded, and they're so far from the truth. What they think is the truth. They're so far from it because they're blinded. And we gonna do what that is the Lord's will. So best I just try to do is just not deal with them, not have no sort of conversation with them, because there's sometimes just talking to them and it'll be like all this nonsense in your brain, all this nonsense you get to hear through your ears. A set of stupidness to be talking sometimes. Romans 3:3, and it says, "For what if some do not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mayest be justified by thy sins, and might overcome when thou art judged." Right? So we don't really give a shit who, if you wicked jakes believe or not. You heathens, we ain't give a rat's ass about you all either. Right? So you could continue speaking nonsense, continue spouting and set of bullshit. That ain't really phasing me 1 millimeter. That ain't phasing me no how. Right? You could continue doing you. I just be like, wait, do come wrong with that bullshit. Do come wrong us with those nonsense stupid shit you are sprouting. Because nothing you're saying is going to change our perspective through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? Because hey, as we know this, the scriptures, and it now come up the other brother now did a video, the parable of the sower, right? And it came to my mind also, right? Because the book says the scriptures is parables, right? This is codes to crack, right? Torah Yahweh through the Spirit and power Yahweh the Lord gave the elders and the apostles this knowledge, right? To decipher this doctrine, to decipher the scriptures for us to understand here in these days, to the Spirit and power, to the Rekakodash also. You see Torah for that. But some didn't get it. Some, I can say some, but a lot, majority of them ain't get it. They ain't gonna get it. Right? And that is how it is. That is destiny, that is predestination. Right? But you see, when you want to come around us with those nonsense, with those stupid Egyptian mythology, with those stupid these aliens, and they want to believe in aliens, and you could continue believing what you believe. If you don't want to hear the word of Yahweh Hashem Yashai, I don't want to you don't want to at least listen to what the man of the Lord saying, it just continue doing you. But we can continue doing we can still tell you, we can still teach, we will still preach the word of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Just don't come around us with those shepherds, honestly and truly, is a set of shit. It's like every day Jake's just finding some of that nonsense to believe in. But you could continue doing. We don't care if you don't believe in Yahweh Hashem Yashai. We don't care if you don't believe in the chariots of the Lord. We don't care if you don't believe that the UFOs are the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. We don't care if you don't believe that Yahweh Shai is a black man that came from the tribe of Judah. If you don't believe, then you could continue in your unbelief. When the time comes, as the precept say, when it come to pass, then shall you know that a prophet had been among them. Then you could go ahead and stay in your unbelief. We can continue with faith, holding and waiting for Yahweh Hashem Yashai. We'd say in Hebrews 4, right? Because they just ain't gonna get it. The Tutu is not gonna get it, and the heathens and them cannot get it, right? Hebrews 4 and verse 1, but the point is only in 2. Right? Hebrews 4 and verse 1. And it says, let us therefore fear lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, and entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short. Right? So we have to fear Yahweh Hashem Yashai and continue. Because if you fear the Lord, you can obey his commandments. If you fear the Lord, you can do what he tells us to do. Right? So we have to continue doing what we're doing, because hey, this word that we get, this knowledge we get, right? We basically, I gotta say it like this, we're the fortunate ones. Right? Because a lot of these wicked jigs and them, they're unfortunate, they ain't gonna get the word of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Right? They're gonna be stuck in the wickedness until that time comes, but they have to pay the price. As the precept said, the wages of sin is what? Death. Continuing verse 2, it says, for unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. Right? The word. And hey, the brothers did a video there. Parable of the sower. Right? GMS Daily Charity. The parable of the sower. Right? So the sower sowed the seed. Right? The knowledge. Right? Everybody here, as Bishop said, as Paul said, right? Everybody in the world going to hear this word of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Right? Jakes, they can't say that, hey, they have no excuse. They say that, hey, you never tell me that, I never know that. Right? Sometime in your life, you're going to hear about Yahweh Hashem Yashai. You're going to hear that he's a Hebrew Israelite. It's just that they denied it. Right? As it says here, for unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. They didn't have no faith in Yahweh Hashem Yashai. They don't care about the Lord. Some jakes say they don't care about God. They don't wake up in the morning and pray. They don't study if they're doing right in the face of the Lord. They don't study if they're doing wrong. They don't study what they're doing is sinful. They don't care. Right? They don't care. Verse 3, it says, for we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although The works were finished from the foundation of the world. Right? So it was only the elect. Right? We're gonna be saved from the destruction. Only the elect gonna obtain these promises that the Lord have. These promises that the Lord have in store for his election. Right? These are our wicked jakes, and you are gonna have to pay the price. So you can continue going on, because you're not damning me. You're only damning your own soul. Right? You're only damning yourself. When the day of this wrath come, when the day of destruction come, right? When the day of Jacob's trouble come, you putting yourself on the shitty end of the stick. So you can continue and do as you please. If you want to hearken unto Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. But if you don't, it is all well and good also. Right? Because we already told you, we already did our part and tell you about the Lord. But it's you know you don't want to hearken. Basically, I can bring out this precept here. In Isaiah, this is what these wicked jakes is. Although I know this precept here going back into Esau Edom, but when I check it out, jakes also is stick for the fire. Right? Isaiah 47:14, and it says, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, they shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Right? Because we know America is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. Right? These wicked heathens and them, they're going to be stick for the fire, stubble for the fire. But also you wicked jakes, because you want to follow under that banner of Esau Edom. You want to follow under your prime ministers, the presidents, right? Under all these other different religions, right? You want to follow under that. You want to trust into Egypt, right? So as the precept says, Lord gonna make the strength of Egypt thy shame, right? So when Egypt, the modern Egypt, which is America, aka Babylon, when America is being destroyed, and you want to continue following and trusting in her, trusting in the leadership that runs there right now, you all will perish with them, and you all will end up having to receive the plagues that the Lord sending in America, aka Babylon. Because why? You're not putting a trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. The precepts say, woe to those that put a strength in man and make it flesh their arms. Right? So you want to trust in Egypt? Then go ahead and trust in Egypt. Just know when the time comes and Egypt is being judged, you will be judged with them. Right? And it ain't no turning back when they take that mark. It ain't no turning back when they reject Yahweh Hashem Yahshai for Esau Edom and for this queendom. No, it ain't no turning back. Bring on this last precept here. Right? Ezekiel 33. Right? Ezekiel 33. Psalm 31. Right? And it says, Salakia. Right? And it says, and they came unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they shew much love, but with their heart goeth after their covetousness. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song for one yeah, of one that had a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. Right? That is basically what these wicked jigs is doing today. Right? Look at how much brothers it have in Great Millstone and other affiliate camps that preaching the likewise doctrine around the four corners of the world, different countries and the earth, and yet still these jigs them not going to happen. Right? Just imagine that. It says, and when it comes to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. You understand? That is what going to happen when all this destruction, on all the when all the plagues, the famine, the pestilence come and overtake you. Then they gonna understand that, hey, what the men on the highways and byways was preaching is the truth. When they calling upon the Lord, when that day come and he ain't answer, then they're going to know that, hey, what the men was speaking on these highways and byways is the truth. Until the next one, shalom, 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 and bakarium. Giving all praises and honor and all glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do rule well. And salutation to the brothers around the world, preaching his word in sincerity to the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, shalom.